You're about to enter the Atomic Voodoo Lounge, New Stanton's one and only surreal dive bar, bringing you beauty and magic and terahertz tragic. I'm Maxwell Vegas, writer, poet, musician, and author of the soon-to-be-published novel, New Stanton. Descend with me into the static buzz of late-night radio, where words and music swirl through neon dreams and drift like cigarette smoke out over dried-up prehistoric seas. You've just entered New Stanton's place for a taste of the strange in poetry, fiction, and music, where the offerings come steeped in liminal noir surreal vibes. Welcome to the Atomic Voodoo Lounge podcast. So take a seat at the bar, relax, order a drink, enjoy the show. I'm Maxwell Vegas, and tonight we'll have a new episode of the Neon Mirage's Back Alley Noir, written by Wade, curator of the DVD Vault on Substack and Instagram. Tonight's focus, the neo-noir One False Move. There will also be music, fiction, and poetry by yours truly, Maxwell Vegas. Now, what are you drinking? In honor of Los Angeles' criminal side, inspired by One False Move, how about the Ice Vein? This drink is sleek, metallic, and dangerous. Something you'd sip in a dim apartment while planning something, well, you probably shouldn't do. Here's what you'll need. 1.5 ounces of vodka. This is like emotionless, clinical. 1/2 ounce mezcal, gunpowder, burnt rubber. 1/2 ounce grapefruit juice, sharp, bitter. 1/4 ounce simple syrup. 2 dashes orange bitters. And optionally, a tiny pinch of salt. For garnish, grapefruit peel. Thin, precise, like a blade. Here's how you make it. Add vodka, mezcal, grapefruit juice, simple syrup, bitters, and that optional salt to a shaker with ice. Shake hard. This drink needs that cold snap. Strain into a chilled coupe or a low ball over a single cube of ice. And express a thin grapefruit peel over the top and drop it in. You're going to notice cold citrus bite, smoky undertow, clean vodka chill. The Neon Mirage Theater and Heavy Sixer Productions presents Back Alley Noir by Wade, curator of the DVD Vault on Substack, where his short essays help guide us around the world of noir and neo-noir film. Tonight, we'll take One False Move. Before Carl Franklin directed the neo-noir masterpiece Devil in a Blue Dress, 1995, he got his feet wet in the genre with One False Move, 1992, a tight little neo-noir that couches a powerful commentary on systemic racism within a narrative of small-town cops versus big city cops, as a multiracial trio of dangerous fugitives flee from Los Angeles to rural Arkansas. Opening with a brutal sextuple homicide, Franklin establishes One False Move's villains and uses creative parallel imagery to intensify the horror as a person is stabbed to death while a home video of them dancing and laughing plays on a nearby TV. The film establishes its commentary on the disparity between black and white in America with a shot of the crying black child of one of the victims before sharply cutting to a white child crying in her bed from a nightmare as her parents come in to console her, one of which is the film's protagonist, Dale Hurricane Dixon, played by Bill Paxton. From there, One False Move continues the discussion with a statement by Lila, the film's reluctant femme fatale, that black people look guilty in the eyes of the law just for being black. film also comments on the Southern use of the word boys in reference to multiple pairings of a black man and a white man, showing that it's racially charged no matter the context, as in Dale's character's casual use of the N-word, which his wife later tries to cover for with an excuse that he grew up around the word. If he wasn't racist, though, he would have the respect to remember the name of the black LAPD officer of the pair, McFeely, instead of calling him Macintosh multiple times and saying those Mac names all sound the same to him. Bill Paxton is one of my all-time favorites because he gave 110% in every performance and always seemed like he was just happy to be there doing what he was doing. In One False Move, Paxton cleverly uses his natural vigor as a false front for a police chief who's extremely racist, a complete dick to everyone in town, and desperately trying to hide a massive inferiority complex from being a cop who's never gotten to fire his gun. The best part is, he's the only character unaware that he isn't fooling anyone. Wade is a lit major and educator who shares and discusses films through the physical media they're printed on. And he has an impressive movie library of over 2,300 films. For more of his insightful cinematic discussions, please visit his DVD vault at dvdvault.substack.com. There's that whole thing with the chicken and egg and which one came first. I'm like that with a lot of my writing and music. Sometimes the music creates the mood and feeling and often even characters that find their way into the writing and vice versa. This song that I'm going to play now was one of the first that I've ever done, and I played it live many times, and it really is, for me, the atmosphere of my soon-to-be published novel, Newsstand. So, let's just call it Newsstand. That will work. New Stanton by Maxwell Vegas. Speaking of New Stanton, this next story, The Road Home, is a New Stanton story. The Road Home by Maxwell Vegas, a New Stanton story. His hand glowing green in the dashboard light, Eugene twisted the radio dial back and forth as he drove. Not one signal, nothing. He pulled a cigarette from his shirt pocket, holding it between two stiff fingers. There's got to be some radio waves bouncing around, especially up here. You're doing fine, Gene. Just focus on the road. Linda gave him a sideward glance as he put the smoke to his lips and then slowly turned toward Jade and Peter, asleep in the back seat. Eugene tossed the cigarette out the window and scowled. Doing fine? What's that supposed to mean? With the conditions. The fog. Uh-huh. Sure. Radio static suddenly resolved into a clear voice. DJ Otto here, and where would you rather be on this foggy eve than with me at the deep end of the dial? 540 WHDS, New Stanton. Fasten your seatbelts. We're about to lift off with a Jefferson airplane. As the psychedelic bass notes marched across the night, the family sedan climbed toward the summit, a tiny vessel lost in a sea of white. Jade leaned against her brother in the backseat gloom, both chests moving in peaceful oblivion. Well, at least there's DJ. One hand shot to the back of his head. You feel that? What the hell? No, I don't feel anything. What's wrong? Straightening his posture, Eugene scanned the rearview mirror and then snapped his head around to the back glass. You see that? That car behind us, Gene? Yes, I do. Wasn't there a minute ago. Neither were we. What? It's a straight shot up a freaking mountain, Linda, so I think I would have seen the SOB. Got his high beams on, too. Don't you feel the heat? Heat? Gene, please. The children are sleeping. Eugene reached for another cigarette, stopped himself, and pressed on his eyes. Got the spots now, goddammit. He's too close. Why is he riding my ass? Must be a special kind of asshole, this one. Well, we'll just... Spots morphed silver to green to purple across his vision, merging with the high beams he imagined to be penetrating his skull. One big river of light and heat compelling him. Stomping the brakes sharply, Eugene checked the rearview mirror. Gene, don't, Linda said through clenched teeth. Don't you ever think of anyone but yourself? Oh, I am. I'm thinking about our children's safety, yours, mine, the mountains, for shit's sake. Causing a wreck isn't about anyone's safety, more about some chip on your shoulder. Just let him pass, Gene, please. Bet he's all tatted up, crew cut, tinted windows. Eugene hit the brakes again. Jar-headed dickhead. Well, fuck him. The brakes squealed, a heavy burning odor filling the car. Eugene craned his neck to see the results. Listen to yourself, will you? Linda brushed the blonde hair out of her eyes and clutched the door. Please, just pull the car over and let him pass. Behind, the car swerved to the right, cutting from the driver's side mirror through the rear view and over. Eugene punched the gas and matched him as they approached the summit. Spots before his eyes, sweaty hands gripping the wheel, and the Jefferson airplane's bass and drums marching on, Eugene became the seeing who could not see and the hearing who could not hear. Where will this end, Gene? Linda whispered, Her long fingers reached for Eugene's shoulder. A fiery crash, a fist fight with a stranger. Murder, Linda. It may just end with murder, Eugene said, pulling his forearm across his face. He had the other car trapped against the guardrail's silver ribbon, a pretense of safety separating the road from the void beyond. Whose? Remains to be seen, he said, looking past Linda to the other car's flat black windows. Let shit like this go? What do you got? Peace? Safety? At the summit, Eugene nudged a trapped vehicle, a blue Chevy Malibu, into a large pull-off observation area. Above, the fog separated, revealing diamond-studded blackness as the cars rolled to a stop, brake lights splashing the asphalt red. Eugene leapt onto the gravel, breathing steam, staring with rage and bluster, and behind it all, a tiny rivulet of fear wormed its icy finger through his gray matter as he imagined who, indeed, might step out of that midnight Malibu, here all alone at the top of the world where radio waves fear to tread. Get out of the car, he yelled, clots of foam spraying from his mouth. He couldn't stop himself. Nothing could. Not his wife's black-streaked eyes, nor Peter's pleading, nor Jade's faded whimpers. Let's go, big guy. Not so tough now, huh? Barely visible against the dark asphalt, the Malibu was more shadow than anything else. Eugene stood tense and observant, waiting for the smallest movement, a minute shift, some vague signal. You fuck with me up the side of a mountain and expect me to do nothing? Get out of the car, asshole! Nothing but the wind through barren trees, the lifting fog, stars. Eugene lunged, his mind exploding silver spots and red. Open the door! He punched the driver's blackened window and yanked on the handle, which immediately slipped from his sweaty grasp. Recovering his balance, Eugene unleashed a series of kicks against the worn blue door. Alone at the top of some mountain, the world dissolving beneath him, Eugene staggered blind and out of breath about the lot, drool dripping cold from the corners of his mouth, when the strangest thought occurred to him. He was merely one of those spots before his eyes, an electron silverfish of desire, burning out somewhere, neither here nor there, between 2 points, some inconsequential nowhere infinity, lost and lost again. He fixed his vision once more on the Malibu's inscrutable black windows, and then click. The driver's side door creaked open to reveal no one at all. Catching his breath, Eugene inched toward the vehicle. Is this what we're doing now? Cat and mouse? A quick series of thumps rocked the car, followed by a soft hiss. With a flinch, Eugene cocked his head to listen. No use shushing. I know you're back there. Can hear you breathing. He ducked his head, trying to ignore the flashing spots that plagued him, the ones he knew didn't really exist outside of his vision, and peered into the Malibu's murky interior, searching for his adversary, feeling the heat pour out into the night, wrapped in the fluttering of insane heartbeats. And there, in the back seat, 5 pink noses trembled between matching sets of whiskers, sniffing the air. Eugene squinted into the blackness and rubbed his eyes, bewildered by the sight. 5 human-sized rabbits twitching in wide-eyed silence. 5 rabbits sitting oh so still, hoping not to be seen, in the back seat of a driverless car, atop an awful mountain, along a nameless road filled with shame and wonder, a road that may never lead home.
Feed your head, dude, whatever that means. For all you insomniacs, don't forget to tune into the Electromagnetic Hour with DJ Otto here at the deep end of the dial, WHDS New Stanton. Next up, Golden Earring.
That was The Road Home by yours truly, Maxwell Vegas, a New Stanton story, soon to be collected into Tales from the Atomic Voodoo Lounge. And when I say soon, I mean not that soon, but soon. Here's a bit of poetry that I wrote. I'm going to call this Secluded Garden. This goes out to people who want to be together, but for one reason or another find it difficult. This poem also has a convoluted path. It was written by someone who was inspired by a paint sample called Secluded Garden. I read the poem and was inspired by that poem to write this Secluded Garden poem. So, again, what came first? I don't know. But here's the poem. Secluded Garden. Just one ray, one glint of lip or eye is enough to hold me fast, melt myself away in this secluded garden, enough to preserve me in the clay of flowering beds only we two can see under the light of your sun. Secluded Garden by yours truly, Maxwell Vegas. That was also a little bit of my guitar music underneath as well. I hope you enjoyed it. Coming soon from Heavy Sixer Productions, New Stanton, a novel by Maxwell Vegas. Mr. Harold Dean, a shady alcoholic, just woke up with one hell of a hangover at the Starlight Inn, New Stanton's dingy motel. The only problem is, New Stanton doesn't exist. Join Mr. Dean on this postmodern night journey through buried memories, liminal spaces, and treachery as he searches for his sole means of escape, a blue 1964 Chevy Malibu. Will he be able to find his car before the evil Dr. Freytag does? Can Mr. Dean trust a host of bizarre characters to help him solve the mysteries of his own dysfunction and accept that New Stanton is exactly where he needs to be? The answer to these questions and many more lies scattered across New Stanton, a town that sits on the edge of a dried-up prehistoric sea, a town that exists inside and down. Thanks for listening to the Atomic Voodoo Lounge podcast. I'm Maxwell Vegas, and I hope the Ice Vein cocktail didn't land you in hot water. Check out the Atomic Voodoo Lounge podcast playlist featuring music from many of our episodes, available now on Apple and Spotify. Just look up Atomic Voodoo Lounge and you'll find it. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please subscribe at atomicvoodoolounge.com. Did I mention it's free? Yes, it's free. It's always free. I've been saying that since we started. and spread the good word. And if you are interested in contributing or being a sponsor, drop me a line and we can discuss the particulars. And don't forget, our 6-word noir challenge is open to subscribers via the Atomic Voodoo Lounge chat on Substack. So check out the Atomic Voodoo Lounge on Substack and subscribe. Find out more about Maxwell Vegas and Heavy Sixer Productions at HeavySixerProductions.com or MaxwellVegas.com. A big shout out to Wade, curator of the DVD Vault on Instagram and Substack, for his essay on the neo-noir movie One False Move. All words and music composed, read, programmed, and or performed by Maxwell Vegas unless otherwise stated. All text, music, and performances copyright Heavy Sixer Productions, LLC, 2026. No AI training, please. And remember, AtomicVoodooLounge.com.